everybody, I am going to be doing a little flashback video of kind of my maternity, how things were for me, how my first, second, and third trimester were, my labor and my birth, and then I'm also going to talk a little bit about our really awesome photographer that we have. So yeah, pretty much that's it. So, my first trimester was a little rough. Actually, let me just talk about how I found out I was pregnant. That's a really good place to start. So, my best friend, Jasmine, moved to Florida, and I was talking to her, and we were talking about being late on our periods. And after we got off of FaceTime, I decided to give it a try and take a look at I decided to look at my period app, because I noticed, I was like, I haven't had my period in a little while. So I did that, and I was 4 days late, and I was like, I thought I've been pregnant so many times, it's whatever, no big deal. And Ronnie, my boyfriend, was kind of freaking out, and he was like, well, what if this is the one time you are pregnant? And I was like, nah, which clearly, you know, he saw the 9-month-old child. I was pregnant. So anyways, yeah, I decided to take a test, and I had just a cheap dollar store test. Went into the bathroom, peed, took it, showed up with a very faint positive line that just did nothing but get darker. And I called out to Ronnie, and I was like, Ronnie, we have a faint positive. I'm pregnant. And then I had another one, so I took another one. And then that was still, I guess, not enough. I called my parents, told them, and then Ronnie and I drove to an immediate care just to get the confirmation again. So we drove to an immediate care. I took a test there. They were like, yep, you're pregnant, which I kind of already knew. And yeah, so that's how I found out I was pregnant. And it was so funny because they were like, oh, well, you're probably like almost 5 weeks along. And I was feeling so good. I was like, oh yeah, no morning sickness. I'm gonna feel so good. The only thing I've got are hot flashes and everything else. And then at 6 weeks on the dot, I woke up with horrendous morning sickness, threw up every single day, multiple times a day. Maybe like a day here and there I didn't throw up, and I thought, oh my god, maybe it's over. But then the next day I'd had like a horrific day. But yeah, I threw up all the way until week 15. So that was rough. Actually, no, I think that's a lie. I think I was 14 weeks, because I remember feeling not sick at my gender reveal party. So yeah. So I was pretty sick. I didn't really have any food cravings. I mean, like I didn't have specific food cravings. I had cravings like, I want salad right now, or I could eat ice cream and then eat a pickle right after, and it didn't bother me, but I couldn't eat it together. That's just weird. Pickles were a thing. Let's see here, what else was a thing? I started to show I have like a little bump at 8 weeks, but I think it's more bloating. But I started to show, I would say around 12, 13, maybe 14 weeks, I started to actually get a little bump. We found out his gender at 14 and a half weeks, and we found out he was a boy, which we were pretty sure he was already because of our 12-week scan that kind of showed a nice little thing in between the legs. So we did do that. But yeah, I also, let's see, 14 weeks. I'll put in like a cute little slideshow of my bump progress, but there's a couple weeks that's missing, and that's because I kind of went through a little bit of a rough time. I ended up putting my family dog down because he was aggressive, and I did not think he was happy anymore, and there was just, that was a really big thing. I also just kind of was focused a lot on like finding a job and working and everything else. So there was a couple times where I think I missed like 12 all the way up to like 18 weeks or something like that. 20 weeks, I felt so good. My second trimester was awesome. I remember having energy. I remember doing a lot of stuff. I went to the pumpkin farm. That was a lot of fun because I wore a cute little shirt that said pumpkin smuggler on my belly. I'll put in some photos of that too. Let's get to like around like 32 weeks is when I did my maternity shoot. So really quick, I'm going to insert a quick little like 2-minute video of my whole maternity shoot. So if you want, just skip forward, and if you don't want to like watch the whole thing, and then if you do, yeah, okay. was it. Yeah, I really like my photographer. My photographer is wonderful. Her name is ma.me.photography on Instagram. Please check out her stuff. She's amazing. Especially if you're in Illinois. She's just a really good photographer. She captured some moments that I thought were just absolutely perfect. But yeah, so my third trimester, I started to get some sciatic nerve pain, which was really rough. I kept getting like a shooting pain down my back that would kind of go all the way into my leg. So that was a little rough. Oh, I totally forgot to talk about during the second trimester, we went, no, buddy. Here, come here. Come here. You want to be in the video? There we go. This is bedtime soon. So, during the second trimester, 24 weeks, I actually had a pregnancy scare where I had contractions, and I went in and I stayed overnight at the hospital, and I was dilated a little bit, but they just monitored me and everything was okay. So that was just a little scare thing that happened. And then you want your pacifier out so you can talk? Hi. Mama. So anyways, yeah, so okay, back to the pain. So yeah, I had the sciatic nerve pain, and then it started to get really painful to walk places. Like I remember like a couple days before I gave birth, actually I think it was the day before I gave birth, oh, you tired? I was walking around the mall and I was just so tired. I remember being in so much pain, and yeah, so I did get induced at 39 weeks, and I had a very great experience. My birth was so wonderful. My nurses were wonderful. My doctor was amazing. I went in at about 7 a.m. and they started me on Pitocin, and I was already 3 centimeters dilated, but they started the Pitocin, and then at 1 p.m. they checked me, and I still had not dilated any further. So now I'll insert a cool little thing, a little slideshow of my progress pictures for labor, and then some delivery photos, some actual delivery photos of him being born. And yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so how was that? Yeah, pretty good, right? I had some pretty awesome photographers. It was actually his godmom, my mom, and then of course Ronnie. So they were all there supporting me and yeah, pushing me, cheering me along. But yeah, anyways, my birth was really great. I progressed really quickly. I thought, I don't know, they started at 7 a.m. and I gave birth to him at 8:51. So that was pretty cool. I did not feel anything. My epidural was perfect. I definitely had baby high. I was like just pure bliss. I had absolutely like I was in pure happy mode. It was great. It was so great. I remember just holding him and feeling like the happiest person in the whole world. and then just having Ronnie right next to me, and I was just like looking at him. It was the first moment that I think I've ever been truly proud of myself and my boyfriend, because of look what we created. Look what we made this. We made this. We made you. We made you. We made you. But yeah, so yeah, I had a really awesome time. And then yeah, so the only other thing I wanted to talk about is our photographer did come and do a Fresh 48 shoot with him. So I'm going to put those pictures in here real fast. So here's that. Those photos are like just so close to my heart. I love that we captured those moments, and just like I can see how different he is. Like in some of those photos, his face looks so puffy, and I'm like, that is not my baby anymore. How did, I don't know. And then I look at him and I'm like, how did you get inside me? And my favorite picture is a picture of Ronnie and little Ronnie, and like he's like holding him, looking in the camera like this, you know, and their noses are almost touching. I think maybe they are touching. That's my favorite photo. And I feel like it looks like it could be like on the cover of a movie, and like my mom thinks the same thing. It just looks, it looks so perfect. And just I just want to give a little shout out to Magdalena. You are the best. Thank you so much. I seriously, I'm blown away, and I can't wait. We'll continue to use you just like we have, and we'll be seeing you again for his 1-year photos if you ever watch and see this video. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so say bye to Ronnie. Say good night. We're gonna go to bed now. Good night. Good night. Okay. Bye, guys.